A Pathetic Scene on the Battlefield by S.C. Turnbo. On the 18th of August, 1906, I met Mr. Jerry Roots at Coweta Indian Territory, who then lived 3 miles and a half southeast of this place. Mr. Roots was a member of the 14th Kansas Cavalry in war times, and he was commanded by Colonel Moonlight. The letter of his company was H, and the name of his captain was Thomas Stevenson. Mr. Roots was born in Holt County, Missouri, March 7th, 1846, and therefore quite young when the war commenced. Mr. Roots is a son of Crittenden and Phoebe Ann Baldwin Roots. He had taken part in the Battle of Wilson's Creek, Pea Ridge, and Prairie Grove. He also followed General Steele in his campaigns through Arkansas and was at the Battle of Jenkins Ferry on the Saline River some 55 miles from Little Rock on the 30th of April, 1864. Now, in alluding to the fight at Prairie Grove, he said that if General Heineman, the commander of the Confederate forces, had not retreated at midnight, the Union Army would have done so the following morning. But as the Southern men had given them full possession of the battleground, it was not necessary for them to retreat. Now, on the morning after the battle was fought, said Mr. Roots, the Federal and the Confederate dead lay scattered all over the field where the fight took place. Now, soon after sunrise, an aged lady made her appearance at our picket line and asked permission to enter our line to search over the battleground for the dead or wounded relatives. Now, she said that her husband and sons belonged to the Confederate Army and they might have been killed or wounded. Now, if wounded, she wanted to help them all she could. If dead, she wanted to be with them and prepare their bodies for burial. Her request was granted at once, and she thanked the men very kindly for passing through the lines. She was certainly a noble wife and a mother, and a brave Southern woman. A few hours after she was admitted on the field, a number of other women and old men and children come to the battleground to hunt for their dead and wounded. It was not many hours before the first woman we speak of discovered the dead body of her husband and 4 sons lying in the cold embrace of death. They all lay together, and the woman gave up in grief and despair, and after the bodies were placed together, she stood and wept over them. Now, we soldiers met all kinds of sad scenes, and these and the hardships we underwent since we had been in the army, that our conscience was tough and our hearts were of stone. But the cries and lamentations of that broken-hearted wife and mother was too much for us, and many of us shed tears, and in a short while our regiment was assigned to a duty away from the heart-rending scene of the battleground, and we were truly glad to get away from it. Now, Mr. Roots said that he served in the Army until after the peace was restored and was mustered out of service at Fort Gibson, Indian Territory.